Hi, my name is Jesse at Trash Panda, and lately I've become super interested with disc design. So today, I've got 3 of the most uniquely designed distance drivers in order to answer one question. Does more innovative mean more better? If you didn't already know, all discs must be designed within certain parameters, and those parameters are known as the PDGA technical standards. Ultimately, the technical standards can be viewed in 2 ways. On the one hand, they're like a box that all manufacturers are forced into and limited by, where on the other hand, they can be viewed as the foundation on top of which the same companies can build. So while most discs come out feeling and flying similar to others, some companies have chosen to build on top of the technical standards with creativity and innovation, which I think is so rad. So today, we're gonna look at 3 distance drivers unlike any others. And since this video will be far from exhaustive, let us know in the comments if you wanna see further iterations of this series and what discs we should highlight. But first, we should probably talk about the discs we're highlighting in this video. You probably already know that golf balls have hundreds of tiny dimples on them designed to reduce drag and help the ball move through the air with more ease. Put super simply, reducing drag causes a flying object to go both faster and farther. The result? A golf ball with dimples can go twice as far as a golf ball without. So what if there was a disc with dimples? Well, in 2014, Latitude 64 answered that question with the Opto-Hex Missilen. Latitude's Opto-Hex plastic is their optoplastic with small hexagonal dimples on the top surface and the bottom of the rim. These dimples are designed to reduce drag and generate an extremely fast flight. So its ratings come in at a generous 15 speed, 3 glide, 0.5 turn, and 4.5 fade. One noticeable issue right off the bat is that while some drag is created behind the disc, most of the drag in discs is created inside the rim, which is exactly what the next 2 discs attempted to address. This disc has 2 rims. No, really. In order to address and reduce the drag created on the inside of the rim, Kastaplast created a disc with 2 rims. Coming in at a whopping 14 speed, 3 glide, 0 turn, and 4 fade, the Rask is about as advanced as they come. And while the secondary rim really does reduce drag, it also accomplishes something else that's pretty rad. The main problem with most high-speed drivers is that they often come with super wide rims, which can be both uncomfortable and undesirable. But due to Kastaplast's innovative solution for drag reduction, the Rask is able to be one of the fastest discs on the market without the widest rim. Its rim width comes in at 2.2 centimeters, resembling something more around an 11 to 12 speed driver, which means that the Rask should offer both speed and comfort. But before we see how it flies, we have one more disc, and it's maybe the most unique disc I've ever felt. Okay, it's not a turbo putt, so the second most unique. Our final distance driver is the Loft Boram, which claims to be the fastest driver on the market, for now. Launched at the end of 2021, the Boram boasts a 14 speed, a massive 6 glide, -1 turn, and a 3 fade. The Boram has a unique rounded rim that dramatically reduces drag, and this is honestly where it gets super interesting. Unlike the Missilen and the Rask, which both clocked in at a 3 glide, Loft's innovative solution actually allowed the Boram to achieve a whopping 6 glide, meaning this disc will go both faster and farther on a lower line. So naturally, I had to see for myself. If you're gonna throw 15 speed discs, then please warm up. And if you're gonna warm up, well, you might as well use a Trash Panda flight towel. They're made from used, beat-in, and broken discs, and we just restocked today. To answer this question, I threw each disc a bunch of different times. The result, a simple pros and cons list for each disc, starting with the Missilen. The main pro is that it's super fast, and the main con is that it's also super fast. If you want a fast disc, then it's great, but to accomplish any of the advantages from the dimples, you have to throw it insanely fast. Another pro and con combo, grip. It's totally unique and really easy to get a good grip on it because of the dimples, but the rim is massive, coming in at 2.5 centimeters. So those ones kind of even each other out. And finally, availability. Considering they're out of production, they're just really hard to get your hands on. So overall, when it comes to the Missilen, does more innovative mean more better? Well, let's answer that question with the Rask. The main pro is that it's speedy and beefy, so if you're looking for a disc you can throw straight into a headwind reliably, then it's the perfect disc. But its main con is that it's so beefy. Outside of headwind shots, it's really hard to get it to do anything else. That said, I found grip to be super comfortable. While some may disagree, I found that the two rims allowed me to really lock my fingers in place, especially on a forehand. Plus, the rim isn't massive, which we talked about earlier. That said, it's so beefy. I consider myself to have pretty decent power, and at max distance, I was only able to get this thing to go 400 feet, which just doesn't feel right for a 14-speed driver. But it may just be the perfect thumber disc. Due to its speed, stability, and the fact that you can really lock your thumb in place, it honestly was one of my favorite thumber discs I've ever used. And the final con, it's so beefy. The Rask is easily one of the most advanced discs I've ever thrown, so even though Kastaplast says it reduces drag, I couldn't really tell if the second rim was doing anything. So does more innovative mean more better with the Missilen and the Rask? I'm gonna have to say no. And I really don't want to, but they're just such massive discs. If a manufacturer would test that same technology on slower speeds or more neutral flying discs, then my answer would probably be completely different. But the fact that they're insanely overstable takes away from any innovation. Now, there is one caveat to that, but we have to talk about the Boram first. And one thing it does insanely well is grip. Once you get used to the rounded rim, it actually feels super comfortable and even unlocks some different shots. For example, if you've ever tried to throw a grenade and felt like you ripped your thumb off, the Boram won't do you like that. But while its grip is a positive, it can also be a negative. Since it feels unlike anything I've ever felt before, it definitely takes some time to get used to it, and you almost have to retrain your muscle memory. As for another positive though, it was definitely more neutral to overstable. While testing some of the fastest discs on the market, it felt so nice to actually see one turn a little bit. Like I genuinely felt like I could still throw a disc. And speed. Of all the discs, this one actually feels like it's moving much faster. Plus, glide. There were multiple times where I thought I threw the disc straight into the ground and it just hovered on this low line forever. But even with stability, speed, and glide, it's still a very advanced disc. Honestly, it feels like a faster and a little bit more touchy destroyer, meaning that it's not easy, but once you get it right, it's really right. So, does more innovative mean more better for Loft's Boram? I'd say absolutely. Due to its speed and stability, it's the one disc that actually seems to accomplish what it sets out to do. The second you throw it, it feels so fast and it glides for days. Which leads us to the caveat I mentioned earlier. When it comes to the Missilen and the Rask, more innovative definitely means more better if it leads to future innovation. So if discs designed today stand on the shoulders of the discs designed before them, then innovation will only get better. And it seems that the team at Loft took full advantage of this. They knew the designs that came before them and they built on top of them. So does more innovative mean more better for this entire video? Yes, absolutely. Which means the future of disc golf innovation is bright. Thanks for joining me as I learned about and tested these discs, and I truly hope you learned something valuable. So if you enjoyed this iteration, please let us know in the comments and what discs we should highlight in the future. As always, thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe to support the channel, and we'll see you next time.